Milk is not recommended on a low carb or keto diet. Hi, this is Anita from the Reluctant Low Carb Life, where we talk about all things to do with low carb and keto, lifestyle and eating and fitness and health and all those other good things we talk about. Today I want to talk a little bit about milk, because if you're like me, maybe you love milk. I love milk. I mean, I could sit down and drink a whole carton of milk. I love the taste of whole, fresh milk. But one of the hardest things for me to give up on a low carb or keto diet has been my milk. In fact, every night when I'm visiting my mother, she has a glass of milk. And I sit there and I watch that milk and I just envy her drinking that milk, because on a low carb or keto diet, you are not supposed to drink milk. And a lot of people wonder, well, why should you not drink milk? Well, I actually went and I did a comparison or review on different types of milk. I looked at whole milk. I looked at 2% reduced fat milk. I looked at 1% low fat milk. I looked at skim milk or fat-free milk. And I looked at lactose-free milk. What I discovered is, yes, there are some differences, but still milk, even though it has like 8 grams of fat, and this is for the whole milk, like 1 glass of milk. We're going to talk again about 1 cup of milk, so, which is about 1 small glass. So if you're like me and you like to drink a whole carton of milk, of course you're going to have to double, triple, or quadruple, or whatever it is with the milk. But milk itself is, 1 glass of milk, can be about 150 calories if it's the whole milk, which is a little bit higher in calories, but your carbohydrates is 12 grams. But where milk is a bit of a problem is actually the sugars. And yes, it is natural sugar, but you have 12 grams of carbohydrates and 11 grams of sugar. So milk is naturally high in sugar, which really surprises me, because we all think of milk as being sort of this natural, great product, but that's why milk is not recommended on a low carb or keto diet. Even the 2% milk still has 12 grams of carbohydrates, and then the sugars go up. So the more they reduce the fat in the milk, this is an interesting fact that I learned, the more the sugars tend to go up. So it's 12 grams of sugar versus the 11 grams of sugar. The 1% milk is 12 grams of sugar too, but you have 13 grams of carbohydrates. So as they're reducing the fat in the milk, the carbohydrates are going up, the sugars are usually going up, and so actually if you're going to drink milk, whole milk is the better milk because it's lower carbohydrates and lower sugars, but it's still quite high for the sugars itself. Skim milk has 13 grams carbohydrates and 12 grams of sugar. And even the lactose in free milk, which you think, well, maybe lactose-free milk, like gluten-free, maybe that's something that can be eaten on the low-carb or keto diet. But the truth is that even the lactose-free milk has 13 grams of it and 12 grams of sugar. The protein, the 8 grams of protein stays about similar for almost all the milks. No matter which type of milk it is, the protein grams is very similar, but the carbohydrates and sugars fluctuate according to what type of milk it is. So that is why milk is not recommended on a low carb or keto diet. And I know that that's really hard for a lot of people to understand, because milk, we've always been told, is healthy. And, milk is healthy. It's just not healthy for us being on a low carb or keto diet. That's why a lot of people say milk is for children. And when the adult, some of the substitutes which I have found, I personally like almond milk. I make a lot of smoothies with almond milk. There's some great unsweetened almond milk there, which actually helps me satisfy for my milk taste. So if you really are having a hard time with milk, try some almond milk. But actually milk itself, whole milk, whether skim milk, fat-free milk, even lactose-free milk, are all milks that you should avoid on a low-carb or keto diet or lifestyle. This is Anita from Reluctant Low Carb Life. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you. Thank you for our production crew, Rico, for your help in putting this all together. And thank you. Check out our blog, reluctantlowcarblife.com. We have lots of great information on there, all about the low carb and keto lifestyle.